All right, we are live. Oh man,
Is it that bad?
it's been a long day. I had to go get groceries this morning, so anytime I have to deal with people.
My wife just orders it, has it delivered.
DoorDash and other services? Yeah, that's what I
I
did a
am
little while ago. I
trying
had
not to
some
waste money, and every time I use one of those services, I always get told that the items aren't there. But a couple of times I've gone after to see, and the items were definitely there. So,
Well, it's all about how if your shopper is willing to bother. That's what it is. It's a will the shopper even bother to go find it? I mean, I ordered something and they brought most of my items, but they didn't bring one of them, and I know dang well it's there. I'm 100% confident because it's not something that I imagined sold out at all, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they just didn't find it. Same thing. There's this soup I like, and I've ordered it several times in different places, and they always come back and say it's not there. Well, on the way to church, I stopped by a few of those places, and now I've got a cabinet full of it because it was absolutely effing there. And I mean, I literally was, but here's what it was on top. Like, you had to look up. Like, there was soup, and then on the top shelf, there was my soup I wanted, piles of it, just rows. And I was like, yeah, apparently they never bothered to look up a row because it was on top. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was there. It was just they
I
walked
think
in.
that's the difference between having a small town establishment versus you guys living in a much larger city. So,
yeah. All right, well, let's get started. Welcome to Dice Junkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
and
we also have Bloodaxe.
All
Yay!
woohoo!
Who?
I tell you what, I think I called it. I didn't realize I called it this big, but I called the game of the year winner months ago. So
Yeah.
I agreed with you, man. I was voting for Claire Obscure too. I felt like it just definitely was the one that should win. I just didn't know if they'd managed to pay old dude off, but apparently people weren't able to foot the bill, or he just knew he couldn't do that another year in a row, maybe.
I will say I saw a lot of stuff online saying that this year's Game Awards was probably the first time in a while it felt like a real Game Awards. And not a paid for advertisement or anything like that.
Well, yeah, because it already sussed how many like nominations a particular game got,
dude,
but thankfully they didn't win anything.
Last year, I mean, we called them out last year. Tons of people called them out last year. Last year was so blatant on just the falseness of the awards, that I think they had no choice but to be a little more honest this year.
Yeah, they only gave out a lot of nominations, but they knew not to let them walk home with the award.
So,
And
anyway,
isn't it funny that the one year that everybody felt was the most legit was the year that Sony just got mollywopped?
did they win any games? Did they get any awards this year? I don't think they did.
I believe they didn't get any.
Which
They only
is
got
wild.
nominations.
I will
You
say
got
Not
the
this.
wild,
best-
it's what should have been happening.
You have the best console in the world, but your game developers can't develop a game to win. What is it? Innovation and accessibility. You couldn't put together a game to win that. I mean, come on. Are you trying not to be successful? Which is just wild. But
And when all your games are known for their extended, long movie scenes all the time, you think you would have at least pulled like most annoyingly extended and over the top cutscene. That's probably an award. Some of these awards are dumb as hell. So, but no, but it makes sense because yes, they have the console, they sell the consoles, they have the money. They make crap games, or they ruin good games. Whereas in like the game could have been so much better. It's a couple of small changes. Like the way I feel about God of War Ragnarok, which I felt had potential.
I will say, there is no best cinematic. You know?
Fair
Because
enough.
that would just be Sony. Because Sony now, I'll give you this. Sony believes in cutscenes.
So if there was a best cinematic, maybe Sony would have been on the list. You know?
There you go. Though next year they wouldn't, because Gang of the Dragon, good grief, that did look like a movie there, man. I don't care about order, man. That was wild what you showed me. That looked like a friggin' movie. Like, I'd watch this movie. This looks good. Sit down with you, man. We get Jarek, man, get a little shot of something and just watch this, like, try, not try it, wrong group. But, watch this Yakuza movie, man, and just be like, oh, this is pretty good. Watch Asian John Wick, you know what I'm saying? Just go.
I guess you could say that Sony got on the list with best adaptation. They got Last of Us Season 2, which is a adaptation of a Sony game.
Oh, they stuck to the game. That's probably why we're not going to see another season of it, but they stuck to the game. Do you realize how bad the viewership drop off was after what happened, like to Joel? It was exactly what everybody told them it would be. But Neil Druckmann don't believe in listening.
What is Games for Impact? What does Games for Impact mean? Because South of Midnight got it, which I will say had the potential to be an impactful game if they wouldn't have
had you picked the cotton.
So
hey, it's
racist.
Fluff. It's fluff.
I mean, they tried to get so DEI that they flipped around, which is how most DEI turns out. It's like, we're gonna be so DEI that we're gonna be racist.
The concept of the game being in the South and kind of dipping into the supernatural, it had a good premise that could be a good game.
Yeah.
They just managed to really just jack it up and SBI had to have been involved in South of Midnight. I think they were.
By the way, to put that to a number real quick, just because I don't want to throw it out there, 55% drop from season 2 to season 1 after they decided to go in their direction. But for a show that was knocking it out the park, too, I mean, I will not claim that Last of Us was a failure. No. Season 1... Which makes sense. Season 1 was based on the first game.
Oh, no, dude. I had people at work.
I expect that.
I had people at work that were like, man, I've been watching this Last of Us Season 1. I'm getting ready to watch Season 2. And I was like, hold on tight, buddy. Stop. Hold on tight.
You may want to stop.
I was like,
no, what are you talking about? I want to see what happens to Joel.
I was like, hey, dude, I know your preferences. I know what you like. I was like, stop at Season 1. Do yourself a favor. Just keep that with you, and it will. And he didn't trust me. He watched Season 2. He came back. He was like, "Man, I should have listened to you."
Zeno was right again.
I can't unsee what I saw.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope. You think that's bad? In the game, it's a big muscle-bound son of a gun. It looks way weirder. At least they got a somewhat normal-looking person for Abby. They didn't go get a bodybuilder, but in the game, it's creepy. You make you pay for my daddy, Joel.
But anyway, so Claire Obscure won 9? You said Blood.
Mm-hmm. That's what, yeah. The previous record was 6, which I think 2023. So they racked up, and then I was shocked they got that many. But to top it all off, when they were accepting the award, the devs were all dressed up in the French outfits from the game with the black and white stripes and the red berets, which is pretty cool. But upon accepting the award, they go, "Oh, by the way, we added all this free DLC for a whole new biome, new bosses, new outfits, new weapons. Go enjoy it, no cost."
And I will say,
and also
for that number of wins, the last record was Last of Us Part 2 in 2020, which was the another one of those years with 7 wins that we all laughed about because there was no other games released really that year because that was the year of COVID.
Also, they actually, I believe a lot of money as ads. That's one of the reasons the Game Awards was losing all of its viability.
But sorry for interrupting you, Bloodaxe. You were saying? I just wanted to get that in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was watching, I think it was Dr. Disaster. It was one of the other YouTubers. And it had come out that it only cost about $10 million to make Expedition 33, which goes to show you don't need a massive team. You don't need a ton of money. You need to have people that are going to have good ideas and make a creative game. The thing about Expedition 33 is a lot of games, it's just repeat. You go to a new area, it's basically the same as before. Every single biome had different music, different monsters. It really felt like a unique, beautiful world. And the story was really, really well done. It was original. So, props to them. They deserve it. And I can't wait to see what the next product they put out next. With the amount of money they've made from this one, they can probably make several products. So, like I said, well done.
Hopefully,
I just hate that I can't play it because I downgraded my Game Pass subscription, so now I got to go back up to premium to play the DLC or pay $50 for it.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get that too big of their britches mentality and.
I agree, and I hope they don't. I mean, the guys seemed humble when they were accepting the awards, but that can happen really, really fast. And you're right. I hope they stay true to their roots and continue just to give us good products and actually come from an independent studio to actually be considered AAA in the next couple of years. That would be a phenomenal step forward to where we'll have hopefully games that Q will play because he won't do turn-based. But, if they give us some action adventure games or looter shooters in different veins, more power to them. I'm really excited to see what they could possibly be working on.
Flynn has a good point in the chat room. Yeah, hopefully they don't just take the money and run, sell the studio, because we see that often too. It's like, let's see. Oh, somebody offered us this much. Let's just take it. Do whatever they say.
And that's my thing, because that's the biggest way it fall off that can happen. Because look at Ghost of Yotai, which got 8 nominations, won nothing. But these are the guys that or theoretically, this is the same team that made Ghost of Tsushima, which was incredibly well received in Japan, especially. Awarded, they got literal some kind of ambassadorship, I think, amazing game. Then they say, oh, okay, we're good at this. Let's go a whole different direction. Womp womp. Let's grab Erika Ishii, an individual that's not really controversial, but openly says she's a member of a terrorist group, essentially. Just a bad person to really probably pick. And then let's just back her all the way. Wild over the top, man, choice. And you get nothing. The game is getting panned. It's Ghost of Tsushima 2 would have been a huge success, dude. Ghost of Tsushima 2 would have been a huge success. But they didn't do that. I don't know why. I got no idea why. I'm confused. And we hope Claire Obscure Expedition 21 or whatever doesn't end up being, like you say, something weird that just makes everybody immediately pull away. I hope not. That's all I can do. I'm with you. I hope not. And I hope they give me a game that's not turn-based because I'm sorry, I no longer can be immersive with turn-based. I have zero immersion with turn-based. And I've reached a point where I just can't really vibe with that game. I can play it at best for a lighthearted fun, but Clair Obscure is not a lighthearted game. It's a pretty serious game.
And it is turn-based, but there are things to do when it's not your turn as well, with the parry and block maneuvers and counter-strikes and other things. So while it is turn-based, it didn't feel like a traditional turn-based game. The only drawback or criticism I can give Sandfall Interactive is the fact that they focus on single player games. I went to their website, see is there anything else in the pipeline or any news, and there's no other mention of games, but they do say they focus on single player experiences, which is unfortunate because I would love to play a game as awesome as Expedition 33 with my friends. Because imagine going in there together and being able to, just wreck ass and
Which is why you
and have a blast with great music and great visuals, but that's not on the agenda apparently.
Even though Baldur's Gate 3 kind of pulled it off, that's why you need it not to be turn-based. If you want co-op, one of the first things you're usually going to need is for it not to be turn-based. So, same thing. I'd love to explore the Clair Obscura world. I would love if they made a game that wasn't turn-based in that world I could play in. I've watched a lot of the combat. The moves and all of that looked interesting. And honestly, I believe could be totally implemented in a third-person action game. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And would love to see it. So, I got my fingers crossed, but that's going to cost more than $10 million.
Well, I was about to say, there's the budget that style probably helped with. There's also the accessibility. You got to think, dude, yes, we're into action. But a lot of people aren't. A lot of people want something that's a little more accessible. So they sort of hit some notes and got the right audience.
Well, no, I'm not saying that they don't keep making those games. Like I said, notice I said a game in that world. That's why you make side games, dude. That's why you have other projects. I don't think the sequel should be that, but I definitely could see a hack and slash. Yeah, I'd love to see.
Just dropping that. Anyways, other than the winners, I mean, we got the list of winners here. It's easily accessible online. Not a lot to talk about. I mean, best ongoing game is still No Man's Sky, which, I mean, who is going to dethrone these guys? I don't know.
Light No Fire?
Yeah.
I'm hoping Light No Fire. Because I'm not really a space guy. I'm a fantasy guy. So as is, well, I think Bloodaxe likes its space stuff, but I think he'd like Light No Fire.
I tried that game, and it was not my jam. And I've tried it 3 times because Zeno keeps saying, how much fun he enjoyed playing it. And for some reason, it just did not connect with me. So, and I hate that.
It's not for everybody.
Look, Zeno and Jared love their spaceships and love their space exploration. I want to stab a dragon and shoot a fireball at something that's flammable and will scream when I set it on fire.
And then we saw Hades 2 get Best Action Game. I will say I haven't played Hades 2. I played Hades 1, and out of respect for Hades 1, I'm sort of glad to see Hades 2 on here.
I will say Hades 2 did not appeal to me, but Hades 1 was so awesome that I completely support Hades 2 doing well. I hope that if they do a Hades 3, that they'll go back to something I'm willing to play. Again, they're not wrong for what they did. I just know what I like to play. And I saw the story and the trailers and I just said, that's not my jam. But looks like a great game. I've watched heard some of the music. The voice acting is still immaculate. I really wish I could have got into the main character and played it, but I'm for them. Glad they won.
And I mean,
there's another game.
The thing that surprised me, I thought Hollow Knight would pick up more wins than what it got, but at least it was represented.
Yeah,
Silk Song, I know, right?
Now obviously I mean, anytime a Mario Kart's released, it's going to hit the list, so that's not shocking. Donkey Kong Bonanza got family game, best family game, not shocking. But Hollow King did get best action adventure game, so it did get on the list. But I am shocked that it didn't grab a couple more. I think Clair Obscura was just too overpowering to allow it on the board more.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it had phenomenal music and great landscapes and stuff, it makes sense to get best score music because each biome was completely different. And so it really kind of fit the mood depending on how it was constructed. Now the voice actress that also won for them, I thought was okay. That's the one that probably could have gone someplace else. But the best multiplayer game of Arc Raiders, I have a lot of people on my friends list that are playing that game, and if I had the time when I go back to work in a couple of weeks, I would probably pick it up. But that's going to be a game that I'd have to invest too much in. Plus, I'd have to get you guys to pick it up as well, and I don't know how crossplay works anymore. So we'll have to wait and hit a pause on anything until I get my gaming PC.
Well, other than top games and games of the year and all that stuff, I got other big announcements that came from the Game Awards. Several games and I guess a couple of movies, I think, were also announced during this whole thing. Oh,
so different degrees of excitement.
So bad. Oh my God! I never thought anybody would have a movie that looked almost as bad as the Van Damme Street Fighter. It did not look good.
I mean, we got a game announcement about herding sheep. So. Once again, is this a comment on society? I don't know. I'll be honest. I saw the Free Shepherd, and my mind went straight to Mass Effect, and then I was really disappointed.
It is what it is, man. I mean, it's about herding sheep. Of all the games I saw, the only one that caught my eye was For Loop, and that was purely because it appears to be co-op PvE.
Well, let's not jump ahead yet. Let's run through these real quick. So there was the Scrap It, which is a dark fantasy game.
First-person Souls, Dark Souls, yeah.
Yeah, there was another one that looked interesting. We just don't have any more information on it, but
yeah. Okay, what was that?
Are we not going through the list? I thought we were going through the list. I mean,
well, hurry up! You're moving slow.
All right,
we're fast paced.
We don't really care about.
No, Decrepit did look interesting, but there was a new multiplayer game that we'll get to in a second. That it may be the only thing we'll actually be able to play together anytime soon.
Yeah, now, Pragmata, you watched the trailer for that. Q.
That's the one where he has a little robot girl on his back. Yeah, you've seen it. It's the one where he has a little girl on his back that opens the doors and he's teaching her, the guy in the suit. It's another father and adoptive father, father and adoptive kid, but the kid's a robot. It's a puzzle shooter. It's a puzzle shooter, so do understand that. It's not just a shooter, it's a puzzle shooter. I'd have to wait for it to come out and see what people say. It's definitely not a buy on release.
Bradley the Badger, I'm skipping that.
We don't do critters.
Stupid Never Dies, I'm going to skip that as well.
I've seen that trailer, and it is Lollipop Chainsaw meets Dustborn, potentially. That's unfair, maybe, to say that. But little Lollipop Chainsaw, but also it's pretty stupid. I mean, Stupid Never Dies.
It's described as a third-person action game starring a zombie boy and a human girl fighting monsters set to ska music. I thought ska music died when I was in high school.
It did. I've heard the music in the game. It did. But it's a zombie game, so it's being resurrected, I guess. No, it isn't just set to it. There's a music video.
You have the mighty boss tones and...
They're like singing to each other to the ska music. It's a thing. It may be huge. Who knows?
Yeah. Now maybe we had a Star Wars announcement.
That's the wild
the Old Republic.
And
I mean, you guys are the Star Wars guys, not me.
I don't trust Star Wars.
I watched the trailer and it didn't really impress me any.
I mean, the trailer was just like a scene of a ship flying by, a girl leaving the ship, and then more space scenery. I didn't really get anything out of the trailer.
Well,
I got that it would probably have a female. I got enough.
Who is the developer?
That's a good question. I've not heard of Fate of the Old Republic.
I think it's the same people that are doing the remake, right? Is it Saber?
No, This is Arcanaut Studios. I'm not familiar with that group. Let's look up Arcanaut.
Wow, one of the most common questions on Google is the developer of Fate of the Old Republic. That says a lot. When I started typing that in, developer popped up as one of the most common questions. I think that speaks volumes by itself.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the studio.
Yeah, it's called Arcanaut Studios. There's not even a wiki page for these people? Who the heck are they? They don't even have a Wikipedia page.
Oh, they were just founded July of this year.
Oh.
It's a brand new studio.
Oh, I'm definitely
all right. So again, like I said, this is the wild card of the game so far that we've seen that were announced this week. So
there's nothing on their webpage, barely. Their webpage is freaking very empty. This game is coming out of nowhere. Now, maybe we'll get a Claire Obscura type experience. We're not.
I would love that because Muriel.
Oh no, they're Canadian. It sucks. They're Canadian. It sucks. It's a Canadian video game development company.
Wow,
it's terrible.
Man.
It's going to be god awful.
It could be French Canadian. If that might work.
Their other office is literally in Kelowna, British Columbia. This is going to be trash. That nobody in Canada knows how to do anything, especially a game that I'd want to touch with a 10-foot pole.
Woo!
Feel
All
like
right.
this come here
Sorry, Canadian listeners. Q does not
hey, guys, hey, that's the listeners. They're fine. If you're listening to us, then you broke the code. Be careful you don't get in trouble. Don't let anybody know. You get caught, you can get in trouble in Canada. Not as bad as in Britain, but still, you can get in some trouble.
All right. Then we had Divinity. Now, this one was the one that
graphic
I sort of was alluding to when I was talking about, hopefully Claire Obscura doesn't sort of go off the rails or something. Because I'll be honest, like I watched this trailer and it seemed like they were like, ooh, we had some people that were impressed by certain things in Baldur's Gate 3 with our romances and stuff. So let's just go full gore, sex, and
puking. Yeah. It's gross. It's a very gross video. Very, very not safe for work.
Nothing about the game really understood here.
Idea. Dude, I don't even know what happened in the thing we saw. Like, I have no idea. I walked away from that with no more information I went in except the game is going to be apparently super mature. I don't really care.
Well, it's also they're also saying it may be somewhat of a reboot or a remake, since this is not Divinity 3, this is Divinity. This is not Divinity Original Sin, whatever. It is straight just Divinity.
As long as it's at least not turn-based, it can catch my interest just because I like fantasy games that aren't turn-based.
It may not be turn-based. So,
all right, then we might have something to work with there. I'll that gets me more interested. I want to know more about the world, but I can never focus on Divinity games I play them because I get bogged down in the combat and I just give up. Like, it just burns me out. But the world seems really interesting. It really does. I'd like to get a game where I can enjoy it and get the lore, but not go through a 20-minute fight with the friggin' dog, and just be like, and then just burn out. I burn out on Divinity, man. That combat style is extremely boring after a while. Like it is. I started dreading combat very quickly, and not wanting to get into fights because they felt slow, tedious, and boring very fast. Just being honest. Even though the game itself was incredible, the storytelling.
Studios did do sort of a didn't do turn-based originally, because what?
Well,
Beyond,
we'll
I think Beyond Divinity was not turn-based.
All right. Well, then there's some hope there for a single-player experience. I doubt it'll be multiplayer. No,
Beyond Divinity was turn. But what was it that they did that wasn't? They did something. A couple of games that were not turn-based early on.
Well,
So,
we'll see. I mean, we don't have enough information, dude. The only thing they wanted to show us was puking, sex, and graphic violence,
yeah.
which
That's a fun weekend,
doesn't
though.
impress me. I
I'm
mean,
not. I
if
can't
it's
even
wrapped around a
mention.
good game,
I can't even mention everything I saw in that video because I figure we get demonetized.
I'm not going into detail either. Yeah, that does not appeal to me. I'm an adult. I mean, if it's got a good game wrapped around it, sure. But no, man, I'm not an 18-year-old who's like, hey, titties. No, I'm freaking an adult. So
Next up, we
I would
have
have liked to have seen
For
something.
Loop.
That's the
That's
one,
the one,
finally,
yeah.
that I was eyeballing. Because at least it's co-op. It looks like it's four-person co-op, and it doesn't appear to be PvP. That catch my eye. Just because I want to shoot people with my friends and not be playing Call of Duty, because that's trash and garbage. So, like, I would like a game, and it looks sci-fi-ish. That gets Bloodaxe and Xeno's check. They like sci-fi. And hey, if I'm playing a shooter, I prefer to be fighting monsters and robots and having advanced weapons. I want to spice it up, I like a little extra. So yeah, it looked very appealing. And
It looks like
that's
it's
the
going to
game
be
that I'm on.
PlayStation and PC only, no Xbox.
I'm PC.
Uh,
See, Bloodaxe, PC, man. Xbox ain't getting no games, dog.
Dude, we've already had this conversation. Xbox can. I can't say it on YouTube. We're still too early in the video for me to say
They
it
can
out
go
loud.
hang out in a Divinity trailer.
Yeah. They can go eat the trough of pig slop.
Oh, please don't bring that up. That was so gross. Oh my god, that clip was out there. It
this
was out
does
there.
actually look interesting. You are right. I mean, it has potential so far, but it's still early to tell.
And if
At
it's
least
got a
it's in the
bad
right
robot
genre.
involved, it should have some interesting story threads that probably don't pan out at the end, but it should have some interesting threads.
Yeah.
I just want a decent game to shoot stuff with my friends, and I'd love to see a game where we could get at least 3 of us in there. This looks like this can handle 4, which means we can even bring a 4th. That's the best thing, because that's it. That is the only game that's not PvP that looks like it's co-op that I can confirm. I watched every trailer almost. They sat here and waited while I was going through trailers, and the other one's way at the bottom, but it's apparently the description says it's PvP, which is a shame because it looked really interesting, but then it said it was PvP, which is also strange because they didn't seem to be fighting other players. They seem to be fighting monsters, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
All
when
right,
we
we
get
got Coven of the Chicken Foot, which looks
Yeah,
like
anyway.
some animated type game.
Nah, keep going, boy.
On Toes? On Twos?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing to that. When I looked it up, I wasn't impressed.
Resident Evil Requiem.
The only thing is that Leon Kennedy's in it, and that got all the Leon Kennedy
we've
fans
talked about
happy.
it in the past. Order of Sinking Star, on Puzzle Adventure, Exodus. Now this is with Archetype Entertainment and Wizards of the Coast. Now this was originally, they were talking about this may be like a Mass Effect type game. There was a lot of hype about it, but apparently the hype has dropped off at some point. I'm not sure exactly what got announced that caused so many people that were hyped about this game to lose interest. But if you look online, like this trailer came out, and when it was first announced, there was a lot of people talking about this game, and now
it looked really good.
yeah. But now it seems like something died off. I haven't figured out why.
I wasn't either. The trailer looked good. This trailer also looked good. So it's got to be behind the scene. They probably hired somebody. I mean, dude, Wizards of the Coast. I didn't really grab the topics. I apologize, but there's been a lot of controversy with them lately. Wizards of the Coast has been. Well, there's also Hasbro. It's a bit of Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast have been on fire. And it's bad. Like, I don't know what the future of Dungeons and Dragons is going to be at all. Yeah, there it was.
Well,
Divinity 2 Dragon Knight Saga was the one that was a turn-based. I played that because you could turn into a dragon. Man, me and Flynn, man, we know we I grew up doing the same things. Because yeah, I remember that game. Because I remember turning into a dragon in it. Yeah, it was okay. But Larian Studios a lot better than they were back then. So we could get a really good version of it, a really good game out of them now. Hopefully, though the direction seems odd.
So Dungeons and Dragons Warlock is the next one, another Wizards of the Coast title.
I trust them less than I trust Star Wars.
I will say, I'm nothing Wizards of the Coast does excites me anymore. And normally, any kind of Warlock game would excite me. What's that?
Yeah. No, you're not the target audience for excitement, buddy.
The ritual in the video looked interesting. I mean, they had reference to the Eye of Vecna and some other stuff. I don't know. I don't trust WotC at all. Maybe we'll be surprised, and this will be, the next Tomb Raider or something. But
Baldur's Gate 3, man, it surprised me that they pulled that off.
But Baldur's Gate 3 didn't do what they're doing here. See, here's the problem I have with this game that makes me antsy. They're pulling a Ghost of Yotai, where every time I went to look at it, everything I saw was about the main actress. They were just like, we got this person, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, this is where the game goes south, is when they get a person, and it seems to be more about who they've got to voice act in their game than the game itself. You get Ghost of Yotai. You get bad games.
Yeah, I mean,
it was the first thing was all over the sites I pulled up was all about this Heller voice actress for this, and I just said,
yeah, I mean, she's known for her work with Battlestar Galactica, and she's done some other films and stuff. I mean, she's got a lot of credits to her name. But and she also apparently is doing the voice for some Tomb Raider games as well. But you're right. Now the only time that actually worked and the game was good, I think, was probably Cyberpunk with Keanu Reeves, which was a surprise. I know you have mixed feelings on the game. It's one of my top 5 games. I had the absolute blast playing Cyberpunk, but you're right. When you're touting the voice actress who's actually known for live action work and not voice acting work. Okay.
Here's my thing. And I know this is sort of, on repeat. But if you're going to be a Dungeons and Dragons game and you're going to title your game off of a class in Dungeons and Dragons, a tabletop RPG, the ultimate choice-based type of game, I should have a choice of who I play.
I agree. Making your own character would have been the correct direction to go.
Now, make a movie called Warlock? Okay, that would be something we'd probably be interested in seeing. But you're right. We should be able to pick our class, roll our tributes, or use an array.
The game's called Warlock, so I'm assuming you're going to be a Warlock. But that should be the only thing that's locked in.
I know. I'd much rather make my own representation, my own character in the game, and make my own Warlock. I have a Warlock character. I played before. I would actually love to go down that road. I don't know, dude. I don't want to nail the game without knowing anything about it. But...
And we are going to get gameplay footage apparently in the summer of 2026. So,
which means I'll have long forgot about this,
and we'll roll on it. We'll
go like
possibly.
What was? Yeah, we'll be having the conversation of. I think I remember something about that. What the?
Yeah. Let's see. We've got Control, which is another game that sort of fell off.
Sequel to, the Control is finally out. Weirdly enough, not nearly the hype I thought it would have. But even some people I know who liked Control were like, okay. But I was there. Like, they weren't like, oh, they were just like, all right, that could be good. I don't know.
Then we have Gang of Dragon, which is from the Yakuza developer. Watch the trailer.
Yakuza developer.
It's a very pretty cinematic. Like, I was like, is this... Like, I thought it was real people at first when I saw it. I mean, it looks real good, but it's just a cinematic.
It's a good one, though. I don't know why you pick a fight with somebody that big. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that dude looks like he's twice your size.
Well, and then some poor gun handling on top of that, But
We saw it coming a mile away. I'm like, do not pull that trigger. Do not pull. You shot your friend in the face. Like, geez, dude. You don't ever get a direct line of fire across from each other and draw your guns at somebody. That's stupid. Even if he'd have shot him, there was a chance the bullet would have went through him and hit the other guy. That's why you don't do that. Bullets penetrate.
Speaking of movies, Street Fighter
Whose favorite film?
2026.
Oh, this looks so bad.
Any comments, Q? You usually the talkative one. You look so disappointed, man. I get it, but
I've watched this trailer almost 10 times, and I'm not kidding. I kept rewatching it, trying to find something I liked. And all I came up with was seeing Zangief doing like strongman training was like the best. I said, "Oh look, he's pulling a truck." That's all I got. Ryu, look, Ken, no, it's just Balrog okayish. Balrog looked okayish, but no. And then Vega, and no, and yeah.
Who's playing Balrog? I gotta look that up again.
It looked all right in the one flash we got. Bison did not look so hot. No.
yeah.
My only answer is just no. I feel I'll watch it. I gotta watch it. I've watched worse. I hope I've watched worse. I've watched nearly every Street Fighter movie. No, I've watched Street Fighter movies y'all ain't watched. I watched the Street Fighter Chun-Li. I've seen the Street Fighter, like I forgot the name of it, but like the live action, like small time one that was Ryu and Ken and Akuma. Like I've watched like all of it, all of the Street Fighter movies. So I'll watch this one.
50 Cent is Balrog. I remember somebody I'd heard of before. But the rest of these actors, I've never heard of any of these people before.
50 Cent.
I like 50 Cent, but why is he Balrog? Are you serious? 50 Cent is Balrog.
56 buffed up, man. Now, I don't think he's Balrog buffed up, but
I mean,
well, they're probably
50.
Oh, movie magic, bro.
Man, move on. I'm more excited about the thing after that. It looked pretty good. And you ought to be happy because you love those games.
all right. Let's see. Where were we? Oh, yeah.
Lego Batman.
The ever popular Lego games. I mean, it's a Lego game, people. We all know people will play it. It's
Lego games are awesome, dude.
yeah. Then we got the Tomb Raider Catalyst and Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis.
The Laser Blast looks like remake.
Yeah, but it looks like they finally fixed Laura Croft, which is
she looks
a turn in the right direction.
She looks odd. She definitely doesn't look weird like she did before.
Yeah.
She looks better.
But
I'm not like.
Go ahead.
No, but that ain't no Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
No, but there's no hard jaw lines either.
Yeah. Then we got Forest 3.
That series is popular. It's a survival horror style game. Forest 1 and 2 both did well.
I've just never gotten into the series. Then we've got Invincible Versus. The next character for that was revealed. Orbitals, the new co-op space adventure for furries, apparently.
Hey, I see it now. Okay. I think the art style made me zip by so fast that I wasn't like,
yeah.
I hope that's a furry. That is a weird looking. What the heck is he?
I don't
know. Jeez Louise, man. They like it weird.
All right. Then we have Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred, which is the new expansion. All right. I was one expansion late on my call for the Paladin being the next character. So I'm the closest winner of our three debate.
Yeah, it was back in the,
we weren't
the
debating
winter of the spring.
How quickly. We voted on the next character.
The
spiritualist. Which was
back in the spring, we all kind of took a shot at who the next class would be, and I went Witch Doctor, and Q went Death Knight, and Xeno went Paladin, which I didn't think would happen, but he was right. We were wrong, so props to
Eventually he
him.
was right.
But interested? No, I have absolutely. Diablo has lost me.
Here's my thing: if I could get back on the game and play the Paladin, I would probably get on and play it for a while. But I'm not buying 2 expansions to play the Paladin. I'm not paying any money to play the Paladin. So
I'd rather play
Especially
Diablo.
because why would you got 2? I think the spirituals is still OP. I think, but I don't know. They may make the Paladin if they want to sell them. They may make it pretty crazy.
But
Spirituals was OP as crazy when it came out, dude. Like it was definitely you got your money's worth if you were competitive.
Marvel Rivals announced Deadpool officially joins the Marvel Rival cast as of January.
Right after they got Rogue, she's looking good. She's with Gambit, which is awesome. There's a lot of good lines there. I'm very curious because it's not just him. I think it's also Bad Blood or whatever, his romantic interest, and they're both foster parents effectively to Jeff. So people are expecting some wild Deadpool dialogue, especially between him and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Because apparently Wolverine, let me say this, does have a movie outfit from the movie. So there may be movie references when Deadpool joins between him and Wolverine.
Oh, that could be fun. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Had another trailer for 007 First Light. Lords of the Fallen 2, which I think we had heard about and talked about in the past as well.
Me and Bloodaxe were interested in that. I don't think you ever got into that with us, but we did do Lord of the Fallen. Problem is the invasions. If they can make it so that me and Bloodaxe can play this game in peace, I will buy it. But I will not buy a effing another Souls game where I cannot play the damn game with my friend and not have jackasses invading my game. I don't like that. And I'm going to be honest. Souls games, man, I did Elden Ring by myself, but it sure would have been a lot more fun with my friend. It would have been a lot more fun with my friend.
Then we had...
but if we do that, we've got to fight off waves of jackasses.
All right. Then we had Saros, introduced multiple new characters. No Law, not familiar with. Hitman, World of Assassination. What's that?
Well, hold on. I didn't check out No Law, but Saros looks like an awesome sci-fi. Saros looks like a cross between a third-person shooter, Bullet Hell, and like Outriders or Remnant.
I mean, I think we've talked about this one in the past. I think we've seen some other trailers of it. No Law, the latest from the Ascent developer, Neo Giants, a first-person shooter following one man's quest for vengeance after he's attacked at his home. So I guess it's John Wick.
Or what was the other one with where you had the first one that had the bullet time?
Oh, you talking Max Payne?
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just immediately got also Max Payne vibes from it. So I think of a first person Max Payne more so. But yeah.
And of course, then we got Hitman, World of Assassination.
Wait, Mila Jovovich is in it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Again, another actress known for live action is doing voice work.
They've just been doing events. Like they had a recent event with Bruce Lee. Remember we talked about that, where Hitman was like helping Bruce Lee go through or something and beat some people up.
Yeah, but this one apparently she's the target. Oh no, there was apparently an Eminem versus Slim Shady event for hit. Oh my God, they went full. They went full Call of Duty. Dang, Bruce Lee, Eminem, and now Mila Jo. Wow, Hitman has jumped. They didn't jump the shark. He ate the shark and is wearing its skin. Okay, let's go down to the one that actually is interesting.
All right, Total War, Warhammer 40K. Sega's Total War franchise will add Warhammer 40K to its profile.
Long awaited.
So
I mean, seriously, I know a lot of people have been waiting on this for a long time.
I know, and Total War Warhammer has been very popular. So 40K,
dude, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this. Like I said, I'm kind of like I never played the Total Wars because I wasn't into the fantasy. But if I could play as Necrons or Tyranids, because they go on great sales too. Like several times I watched for like the Total War drop to those nice sales numbers, and I'm like, ooh, I almost bought it.
This is one of those weird instances where, like, I'm more familiar with the fantasy Warhammer, and you're actually the one, more into the space Warhammer,
which is
that
weird.
Is hilarious. This is weird.
I'd love to pick up Space Marines and go up against your Necrons and see what would happen. But
I mean, I have lore too. Like I know, this is an odd case where it's like I know way more about 40K.
I played the Warhammer Fantasy RPG tabletop. I played Warhammer Quest and played Warhammer the MMO Warhammer game. None of which were anything about 40K, and so I've always been lost when it comes to 40K.
Well, if you noticed, I'm not a fan of 40K for the Space Marines. I mean, they're respectable, but nah, man, I like my Tyranids and my Necrons, man. And those are just armies I've always wanted to properly play. Like the new Dawn of War will probably have a campaign for that. I might pick it up when it's got a good price. Like I own all the other Dawn of War. I own Dawn of War 1, 2, and 3. But I got them all also, summer sale, winter sale. I will eventually own Dawn of War 4, guaranteed once it hits the price. This also may make it into the library. I'll go take on Kitsune, probably. I'll slap it up too, and we can see if I can kill it.
It looks good. I will say that. It looks good. So then we've got Ace Combat 8, which is a flight game. And then Star Wars Galactic Racer, another Star Wars, man. They were right. The rumor was 2 Star Wars releases would be announced at the Game Awards.
When I think Star Wars, you know what I think of?
Racing?
Lightsabers. Lightsabers and space wizards.
No, you think of racing. Come on.
No, I think of the Sand People before I get to pod racing. Pod racing is so far down, and I'm all the way down to like, man, male Twi'leks sure are ugly, but female Twi'leks are cute. Well, that's a weird thing. That's how far down the rabbit hole I have to go before pod racing pops up in my head.
I will say the pod racer game on the 64, I had a lot of fun playing that, and if this is kind of in the same vein and I don't have to go PvP pod racing, I might pick something like this up and give it a go.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be a racing game like racing games where you're meant to race other people.
Well, back then they didn't have online games unless you do something on Steam. But if it's me versus if it's PvE, there's something I probably would pick up.
There'll always be an option, but I don't think there's going to be a robust single player.
The thing is there's been more Star Wars racing games than there have been good RPG Star Wars games. So, just saying, there's been a lot of Star Wars racing games, man.
I'm going to drag you in the arena and where the winds meet and whoop your tail. You just ruining my... That's sad to find that out. That's very sad.
Phantom Blade Zero is the next. Says it will launch on September 9th. I'm assuming that's next year. Who knows? An S game Soul-like Kung Fu Punk. I will say, now, if that was all I heard was Souls-like Kung Fu Punk, this would probably be on the top of my list. But I'm not that big into these, just some of these.
The problem is there's so many lined up. Like, Souls-like martial arts or wuxia or samurai style games, dude, this is like one of like 5. I could go pull up if I felt like it another 5 games coming out. There's a lot of them. Now, it looks pretty good, but it doesn't have RPG elements. Don't get it mixed up. I've actually deep dived into this. It is an action game. It is not an RPG. I like a little RPG with my action game. I like a little RPG with my action game.
That's why I said I wasn't that into it, is because it's just an action game. Last up that we'll mention is Mega Man Dual Override. Now this
one more.
Huh?
There's one more. What do you mean that's the last up? There's one after that.
Okay, there's High Guard. Do you know anything about it?
Who cares about High
I'm
Guard?
waiting to talk about it. I literally
Really?
brought it up.
Really? Okay.
Okay.
We will go to High Guard before we go into Mega Man because there's more around Capcom than just the Mega Man thing. So, what do you guys say about High Guard, man?
I mean, High Guard is a shooter. It kind of makes me think of that game you tried where it's a magic shooter. But no, it actually has guns. You have guns. You have magical abilities. It looks like it's co-op, multiplayer. It looks pretty good. Only thing is they claim it's a PvP raid shooter, which I don't know what raid shooters necessarily are, but I know that, like, I'm not a big PvP guy. But the game looks really good. Like, I was actually super excited until I looked up and saw it was supposed to be PvP. But it looks multiplayer. Yeah. It looks like each one has individual magic spells and abilities on top of their guns. The gunplay looked crisp and sharp. And in the trailer, you're fighting monsters. So I don't know if it's going to have a non-PvP option that we can all enjoy. I definitely want to try it if it does, but they're not pushing it as that. But it looks really good, and I'm hoping they decide to do some co-op version where I ain't got to deal with getting called the N-word the first day I get brought in to play it, and then Bloodaxe has to ban a guy. Because literally, she's going to play Gears with us, get on an online match. We couldn't cut through the first 24 hours before I got in-bombed. And I'm just like, and it was messed up is that I could tell it was a shock because all of his other friends were just like, whoa, like everybody like just froze. Like, what the heck? I'm like, that's y'all get. You brought a black man in and find out something about one of your friends you didn't know real fast.
I just met the guy a couple of days ago, so I didn't mind giving him the ban hammer, but yeah,
I was
like,
more shocked by the other people's reactions too. Just like, he did what? Like, they were just like, this is shocked. But that's why I don't like it. Is that people are a-holes, dude. Like, I've literally been sabotaged in where the winds meet. Most of the people pretty good, but we've had people go into a match and screw everything up. And it's like, it's frustrating dealing with people you don't know.
All right. Well, High Guard does actually look interesting. I did run through the trailer there. I didn't run through the trailer before because it didn't have a link on here about it, and I just thought it was some side note announcement. So good catch. It comes out January 20-something. So I mean,
that's pretty soon.
Yeah, not that far away to find out more.
Fingers crossed that there's a non-PvP mode because it does look super fun. It really does. I like the look of the combat. I'm curious about the game heavily, but I don't want to have I don't mind. I mean, dude, we do PvP in Where Winds Meet. We do some, but I don't want it to be the primary thing. I want to be able to enjoy a game and for multiplayer to be optional. I don't want to buy a game because we tried that. What was that stupid mech game, real quick? What was that mech game we tried? What?
Mecha Break?
Yeah, is that the one? No. It was one before that we thought you could play against a computer, but it ended up being pure PvP as well. And it was a shame because the game seemed so cool, but then it was like, no, this game. You even had non-PV during the story build-up, but then once you got past the tutorial, pure PvP. Pure PvP.
Yeah.
Oh, if you say so, then yeah, Mecha Break. And that was disappointing because I was enjoying the game until I got to the PvP. All right,
yeah.
Go ahead, Zeno.
So Capcom says it wants Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Ace Attorney to be core IPs like Monster Hunter and Street Fighter.
Mega Man should be.
Mega Man should be. I think Devil May Cry's horse, even though the last game was pretty good, I don't know how much more they can drag out of that, dude. I mean, without changing something. I feel like that needs a change. I even disagree with you about this, even though this game actually looks really good. This Mega Man game looks like the kind of game I would like to actually give a spin. I'm not going to give Capcom $60 or $70 for it, though. But if it popped up on sale, yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. But I miss when they were trying to do Mega Man Legends and go into...
And my problem is
other stuff.
When you go into that, all I can think about is how bad they've done Metroid. And so I'm like...
Yeah, but that's the problem. I think Mega Man would have done better along those lines than Metroid did. But yeah, I don't think Metroid needed its first-person version. But Mega Man would be awesome if I'm fighting and I get powers and I use them to traverse the map. That makes sense. You got different levels that are themed. because it's level based. You'd have themed levels to go through. I think it's a good model for that change, but I don't believe Samus needed that. No, I agree that I feel like that was not good for them. But
the first
you're
person
right.
wasn't
You're not
bad
wrong.
in Metroid Prime 1 and 2. I never played Prime 3, but
Good job.
it lost its luster compared to the 2D scroller that we got for the first other games, and so I agree and disagree because I did enjoy it, but what they did with 4 with the bike, I'm not even going to bother trying to pick that one up. I mean, the whole motorcycle thing lost me. Samus does not need a motorcycle. She has a spaceship. Why does she need a motorcycle? She can just fly where she needs to go.
Motorcycles are cool, dude.
I mean, they have teleporters all over the place. You can fast travel wherever you need to go. You don't need a bloody motorbike.
I'll do you one better, because even though I'm not as invested as you, I remember Samus having a super dash. Didn't she have a super dash?
Yeah, but again, there was transporters that would take from different worlds and different places, and all the games have had some version of that. But in other games, she's had a ball dash where she could get into her power ball and then spin it up and then be able to go really fast and do different things. But the motorcycle,
you know what also would be solved if she used her ship to fly over the desert? I'm pretty sure her ship has a radio.
Has radio?
Oh. So Mega Man Dual Override is a 2D scroller. I think it looks good, man.
Great. It looks good. It looks really good. It's colorful and bright, but it's also got that personality that I remember from the Mega Man worlds. It really does.
It does have a 2027 release date, so it's not coming anytime soon.
It's okay. I mean, again, I'm not that hyped because unfortunately, I've played I played almost every Mega Man side scroller, but I've also played the RPG, Legends, and I would love to see another attempt at the 3D, maybe even a first person that plays kind of like Borderlands 4, not the bad stuff, but in like the air dash. No, like the air dash. You know how you can dodge midair in the game? That's a cool thing. You can slide. Mega Man's known for his slide. He's known for his air dash. I would like to have that in a 3D environment and then get the suits with different abilities.
The good news is there is apparently an additional Mega Man project in development besides Dual Overdrive that they have not fully announced yet. So you could get...
I'm happy. I love my boy Blue. I love the Blue Bomber, man. I'd love to see something from him before I croak.
So your hope is not all lost. There is supposedly a second work in development.
Because we all know none of us are probably going to be able to see Elder Scrolls 8. I mean, literally, we'll have gone blind from the cataracts by then. But we can at least see another good Mega Man outing, something new for it before the arthritis kicks in. Seriously, where the heck's Elder Scrolls 6? Where's Elder Scrolls 6? What happened to Elder Scrolls 6, man? We got like one title trailer and then nothing.
Yeah. No, that was one of the many things that was listed as where is, during Gaming Announcement Awards, where is Elder Scrolls 6? Where is Star Wars Remake? Because apparently Saber said they are still working on the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. Where is Fable?
Oh my God, Fable's it's dead.
But
so it entered pre-production. Elder Scrolls 6. I got some info here. In 2018, it entered pre-production, and then in 2023, it entered active production, and we still got nothing.
Yeah.
So we're 7 years out. 2 years out from active production, 7 years out from pre-production. We ain't even got a single Khajiit. All right, we got nothing.
Yeah, but the Fable games have all gone downhill from the first game anyway.
Well, yeah.
2019 was a promotional video. 6 years, we got no news.
6 now.
Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, 6 years.
Just add that to the list of Ghost and Half-Life 3, dude. Just add it to the list.
All right. So
the only thing I know about Elder Scrolls 6 is that apparently, screw you, shut up. Shirley Curry is going to be in it, known as Skyrim Grandma, a online YouTuber. That's all I got. That's the entirety of what I know about Elder Scrolls 6.
Well,
7 years later.
Some people are coming into these video game companies that don't like what they're seeing and speaking up.
Okay.
Square Enix major shareholder drops a 100-page, we talk about 50 Cent petty here, a 100-page presentation criticizing how the company is managed and rallying other shareholders to speak up.
It's about damn time.
I don't know. 50 Cent's the GOAT of petty and hate. But I gotta say, 100 pages. I heard there was a PowerPoint.
No, it was a 100-page presentation, which it's like a PowerPoint. Yeah, 100 pages of how you
imagine
suck.
100 pages and you suck of why you suck.
Well, I mean, Clair Obscur was what the next Final Fantasy game should have been. So yeah, they deserve to get raked over the coals because they have really just fallen flat on a very, very valuable and beloved franchise. I mean, when was the last time they did anything that we actually enjoyed? Look up Square Enix real quick.
I mean, Square Enix has been doing bad, dude. They've been having mad problems.
Yeah.
Like it's been bad to be Square, but yet they promised a course correction. I haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. None of us have seen it. The course correction has not occurred.
Well, and that was even somewhat mentioned to buy this, is basically they were saying the course correction is possibly even wrong. You know, what they came up with as their course correction to be something that is stupid. So they're trying to... Now, I'm not very familiar with 3D Investment Partners. Apparently, they are a Singapore-based activist investment fund. Now, don't get caught up on the activists. What they mean by that is basically they're a company that goes and buys up enough stock into failing companies to try to save them. So,
yeah, you told me about that, but I don't know if you can save Square. Like I said, I see the issue, though, where it's like, yeah, but if they want to save them, they've got to change what they're doing. Money is not the be-all. You got to also stop doing stupid stuff. So I get it. It's a literal problem of, we can give you money, but if you keep doing this, you're going to run out of new money. It's like, who is it, Ubisoft that we were talking about? Where Ubisoft cashed that check and use that to try to push their financial report up, but the money's going to run out, and they're not changing anything, so they're just going to be broke next, financial earnings report.
Yeah, here
so
they
it's
say,
like, if you don't change...
Although Square Enix's plan to reboot with its new midterm strategy for fiscal years 2025 through 2027, 3D Investment implies this plan is insufficient and too vague. So there you go. Yeah, they even said, no, that's dumb. That's not good enough. You don't have enough outlined. Here's 100 pages of why you suck. That's how you outline something.
I mean, more effort was put into the why you suck.
So,
more effort was put
if this
into why
comes to anything. But once again, it's an investment company. They want to try to make their investment more profitable. Now, whether they do that in a good way or a bad way, we don't really know. They could come in behind them and just get them to fire people and make the company more profitable for a short term and then jump out. Or are they willing to sit on their investment and try to make it more profitable for the long run? We don't know.
Well, the big shareholders can also make changes as far as the board goes, but Flynn's right. Only the ones with the major shares have the ability to make any kind of change, other than the power of the wallet. Final Final Fantasy games falling off a cliff. Dragon Quest, I've tried to play the newer ones, and I just can't get into them anymore. So they've got to find some way to either freshen up their properties or come out with something new that we actually are going to enjoy to play. And so he's right. Is there anything that Square Enix has done in the past 5 years that you've actually enjoyed playing? I was on the list. I couldn't find anything.
I've seen one of them that had a bit of potential, but nothing that had enough potential to make me spend my money, which I guess means no. I mean, if I'm not willing to spend the money, that probably speaks volumes.
I mean, I will say, we saw Square Enix on the Game Awards. They did win Best Strategy for Final Fantasy Tactics.
This is the problem, though. That's a big issue because too many of these companies, though I hope Claire Obscure opens her eyes, just like Baldur's Gate 3 did last year, dude, no, remakes are not the answer. Make better games. Remakes work because nostalgia, but you can only farm so much nostalgia before you run out of nostalgia.
Yeah, I'll probably get the KOTOR remake, but I'm not going to play it soup to nuts the way I did the original. I've gone through at least a dozen times.
Absolutely would not pay full price. Like I said, I'm not paying full price to play a game that I've played as much as I played KOTOR especially. No, you're going to have to, I paid $30 or $40, but I mean,
the last Square Enix game I played was Dragon Quest 11.
That's a good question. What was the last one?
I played Dragon Quest 3. Last game I enjoyed was Dragon Quest 11 because Dragon Quest 3, we have our
Dang,
problems.
Okay, that's just cold. Wait a minute, let me correct that. Let me see. Let's see. Jesus, they made a lot of games. It's going to be a shame when this company dies. They've been around so long.
I think the last one you enjoyed, Q, was probably Kingdom Hearts.
Dragon Quest 11 came out in 2017, so that was 8 years ago.
Trials of Mana, Star Ocean. Yeah, I haven't really played.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think it was Kingdom Hearts 3 was the last one. I tried that one Final Fantasy game with Clive. I think it was Final Fantasy 16. They had like a demo level, and I enjoyed the demo, but not enough to pay what they were asking. But the demo, because you can go on Steam and play like a demo of it, it wasn't the worst thing I ever put my hands on. But other than that, the last thing I enjoyed was Kingdom Hearts, and bought and enjoyed. Me and I want to say Zeno tried out the Final Fantasy Online and burned out on that.
I thought you were a big fan of Forspoken.
I actually watched a big breakdown of that game where somebody really combed through that game from top to bottom, and they came out with because it was one of those, was this really as bad as everybody said? And then he combed it from top to bottom and came back and said, yeah, I really hate I did this. It was, I should have believed people. And I was like, dang, I've never seen that where he's like, I wish I had not played this. Well, you know what? I was going to mention it earlier, but we got off topic. But you mentioned that, how they swing back around to racist. Dude, Forspoken starts off with they changed the character to a black kid and made her fatherless and a criminal in a gang. And I was just like, the first scene is her in court for stealing a car. And I'm just like, this is not, I don't feel positively represented by this at all. What the hell?
Flynn, who tends to be a little nicer on video games than us, actually says, yeah, it was bad character, bad levels, bad story, 5 out of 10 at best. So, yeah.
There's also racist as heck. Literally starts off with her in court. I'm like, really? Can a black protagonist not be a criminal? But then again, at least they didn't have you collecting fluff.
Oh!
Bloodaxe almost killed me when I found out in South of Midnight that you collect fluff, and I saw a picture of what looked like cotton, and I was just like,
I told you, and you didn't believe me.
That hit different.
You didn't believe me.
I didn't believe you. I didn't think anybody would have the unmitigated balls to pull that off. I was like, there is no way that they did that. I'm like, nah.
In the
But I'm
South.
looking up.
Yeah. In the South.
But I'm looking up fluff. I'm on here right now, and it's like, yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't imagine that. That's so crazy. I thought I imagined it. I'm like, did I really see that you're collecting floof? Excuse me. Floof makes it not cotton because you spell it floof, but it's. We know what you're collecting. I'm looking, it's out in the fields, man. I mean, I pulled up images. I'm going to stop. Yeah. So, okay. It's not the craziest thing I've seen.
All right. So last up, we have two topics. Let's blast through those. We're already 15 minutes over our normal hour. One is a reach out to what we talked about last week with Warner Brothers. Apparently, Paramount has jumped in to counter Netflix. Of course, both are apparently having antitrust pushback and several other things because they have several international investors. And of course, you know, when you're talking about trading inside the U.S. and international investors come in. Like, I think Paramount had Saudi Arabia involved, which, of course, after the big EA thing, that's probably going to get. So.
Paramount had straight up cash versus Netflix with stocks and cash. But to break out over 100 billion cash is pretty insane.
Yeah, now.
There ain't many people as rich as those Saudi princes.
Yeah. Plus, Paramount was like, oh, no, don't shave off Discover or CNN. We'll take it as it is, everything, you know. So
yeah, Paramount wanted everything.
It's an interesting battle. We'll keep an eye on. To be honest, it's gonna be a long one. Last up is for you two. You guys got the new Borderlands 4 patch.
Hold on, we gotta say what Flynn said, because see, this is interesting because he had Forspoken it. He said that the reported story for the game is that the testers were mad at how they stereotyped the character, but they kept it in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a price. He said everybody gotta be ready to pay.
Oh,
if Netflix get it, it's gonna cost you. Netflix is gonna go up. Netflix subscriptions is gonna join Game Pass at $30 plus.
I mean, Paramount Plus, if they get it, they're going to go up as well. I mean, most likely what's going to happen is they're going to go and they're going to be like, hey, look how cheap we are, you know, try to get as many people to subscribe as possible. And then, you know, they'll knock the price up by like double within the next year.
So we're going from cable to streaming services. And we're now going to streaming services, which will be as expensive as cable here pretty soon. So it's going to be pretty insane.
Remember when Game Pass was $9.99? That was $30. It's like 3 times the price. I remember talking about it. I was a fanboy. I was like, dude, this is a lot of value for $9.99. Then I'm like, this is a lot of value for $12.99.
No, we got value. We got caught in that trap, man. We were all fanboying over that price and
man, this ain't the worst. This is decent value for $15.99. But then it's like, this ain't worth $30. Hell no.
No, and my son's like, hey, Dad, can I earn $60 so I can buy Battlefield 6? I'm like, dude, you can get a job. But yeah, because he lost Battlefield 6, I lost Expedition 33, I lost Grounded 2. There's a lot of games we were playing, but I'm not paying $30 for Game Pass Ultimate. That's insane. And Microsoft is
I did not know that.
Oh, jeez, good Lord,
Flynn, you're hurting us over here, man.
He sent a link. He says he sent a link. I don't know where the link is, but wow. Jeff Lynn says that also the Forspoken developer raised eyebrows for describing the game's black pedestrians as having a hip-hoppy walk. So they just really went full blackface on that. They just went stereo. Yeah, this is the inclusion, man. I'm included. Know what I mean? We went street on it. Yeah.
That's almost as bad as what was that show, Robin in the Hood?
Oh, don't bring that up. That junk was, oh no. No, please don't. That hurt.
Bad.
That hurt. I do not like feeling that Prince was right, that the bad guy was right. But until the end, when they had him just suddenly go full evil, he was so much more reasonable than every character of color in that show. Yeah. It was bad. And I'm like, why did you do that? Then at the end, they realized.
Ask Google about the hip hoppy walk and Forspoken, and apparently, let's see, Frey describe the description by the blacksmith Frey sparking criticism for promoting negative racial stereotypes. So yeah, this did happen. It's there. It's all in black and white.
Nah, man. They were being inclusive. It's just a problem that they were including was the only version of black people they understand, which is criminals who like hip hop music. Because she's a criminal, she's a jerk, she's rude to everybody, she doesn't really care about anyone for most of it, she curses all the time. Yeah, man, positive stereotype.
Hip hoppy walk, orphan, very angry.
And a criminal.
Angry black woman. Got it.
Yep.
And easily violent. Like, when she first kills stuff, she's just like, yeah, cool. Yeah. Great character.
All righty. Oh, man.
Borderlands. Oh, Bloom Reaper. Yes. Got our first raid boss and my first rage quit of the game.
That boss whooped Bloodaxe's ass.
I died so much. I now have less than $1 million. I can't buy things.
Forge stuff out of the Yeah, you messed me up when you said you ain't even got the money to get anything out of the Maurice vending machine anymore. I'm like, whoa, like, jeez.
Oh,
I agree with you about liking the villain more. I did too. I like Brace or Vanguard or whatever they call him. He was cooler. But no, dude, it's hard.
I didn't realize that if you grapple onto one grapple point, you can't grapple onto that same grapple point again until Bloom Reaper.
And you gotta die.
Well, yeah, and the knockback and you're in fight for your life and you can't grapple, you can't shoot anything. If you get knocked off and you're fighting for life, you are going to die. Actually, when you walk in, you're going to die anyway. Bloom Reaper is a beast. Now, I give Q credit. He was able to go in and beat it with me, dying 4 times in the same fight and then zooming back down again. But once you realize the patterns and stuff, it's more manageable. But it is not a fun fight. The loot drops are insanely low, and you have to get platinum just to get a gold get a legendary from the chest at the end, which is a sniper rifle. It's not even what you're looking for, which was you're looking for the shotgun.
Oh, that sniper rifle sucks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the sniper rifle. I hate it's a guaranteed. I'd rather that they threw the mantra in there or other guns. The sniper rifle's not that great. I agree. I don't know why they think it's. But the legendary enhancements from the platinum chest are pretty cool. You get like 2 legendary enhancements. I've actually got some good. I've managed to pull platinum several times on UV6 now. I can definitely do it on 5. I can pull it on 6. But I still die 25% of the time because that's how cheap the boss is. Just a random shot and it's over. You get knocked all the way across the screen.
It's not the boss. It's the bloody mobs that are the ones that are actually knocking you around a bloody map. You can dodge the boss. You can prepare for its moves and telegraph some of its ground pounds, and if it
lands on the platform with you, you have a very small window to get off that platform before it will send you flying. And even if you're in the air, you get hit. Trust me, I fought it way more than you.
Oh, I know. No. It is, and if the loot was good enough, or if they drop more regularly, I could deal with that. And
I have you guys as class mods. I got Rafa, I got Harlow, so you wouldn't have to bother with it because the loot sucks. The mantra, nobody's been able to make that work. I tried. I spent millions respecking trying to make it work. It's not the face puncher. They nerfed it too much. They did not want to bring in the awesomeness of the face puncher. They succeeded. It's not. You don't need anything he drops. You don't. There's nothing that he's dropping you need.
It was after this DLC. We were talking Thursday night, and I made probably a hot take statement that said, you know what? The end game of Wonderlands was better than Borderlands 4. So at least I could farm what I wanted and I got guaranteed legendaries. You can't. I was fighting one boss, Mimicron, trying to get a complex route. 10 times, 0 legendaries. Not a single one on UVH6. So you know what? I am checking out. Now, if Q calls me and says, hey, let's play, I'll hop on and I'll play with him. But I'm not going to farm anything without him. Because I'm completely done with this game until they fix the drop rates and actually make it worthwhile for me to spend hours farming a boss for the gear that I need. And it's not just, hey, I want something to drop. I want the thing to drop with specific firmware or specific license parts. So I wanted the complex route with Atlas. Do you know how long it's going to take me to find the complex route with Atlas? I'm going to get it with like Hyperion.
And that's the problem. They created this cycle where the replay value is supposed to be the license part combos. Even though for some reason every combo can appear on every legendary and some legends have none, but don't get me started on that. So they have a loop. There's no reason that the loot's not dropping. There's a lot of rolls that you want. They don't have to do a sparsity when you need hundreds of this to get what you want in the first place. It's not rewarding. Don't get me wrong. Wonderlands, while I love the gameplay and I felt that it had better characters, and not like that, I mean in your character, your ability to customize, I think it had better customization, better legendaries, better builds. The chaos rooms are boring, but he is right that you could target farm your loot at the end really, really well. So it felt rewarding. You never finished a cycle and then didn't feel like, hey man, I'm gonna go roll like 40 shotguns, which is awesome. I wish we could do that in this game. It'd be helpful because of license parts. This game, I like the world better as far as the size. I like being able to run around and fight stuff. There's plenty of place to explore. I don't like my character. I don't like his character. I don't like Xeno's character. I don't like any of the builds are not interesting. The legendaries suck. Enhancements are a very poor replacement for artifacts. License parts are a very poor replacement for anointments. They just screwed over rocket launchers completely by making them just offshoot grenades. Your class abilities kind of suck. Let's be real, dude. You can't jump in a huge mech. Xeno can't send out a cool clone and switch positions with it and use that to travel across the map and resurrect while he's also sending out a drone to shoot at stuff. I'm not turning invisible with flak or have a pet that gets all the aggro but's unkillable, or I'm sending out flocks of flaming birds to drop grenades. No, it's boring. Everything feels, what did I describe it to you, Bloodaxe? Everything feels like a watered down Borderlands 3. They took Borderlands 3, they made it less. The new rocket launcher in the DLC is a crappy, inferior version of the Globetrotter. It fires smaller buzzsaws, fewer buzzsaws, it does less damage. The mantra is the face puncher, if it only fired a single shot, had ammo problems, and sucked. Every legendary is an inferior version of the legendaries from Borderlands 3. They're not original, they're just crappy versions of ones you had before that were good.
You know what's bad is the class mod that I got when we were playing had ordnance cooldown and skill damage, and I still like, okay, I'm done playing. Great class mod, great abilities, and I love what they did with the class mods, but it's not worth it. It's not fun to play. And until they maybe shelve it for a year and then they fix it, but I don't think so. I think Gearbox is just showing that they've lost the ability to make games fun because they're too busy trying to make things too hard for the players and hitting the nerf hammer so hard that anytime we find something that's fun, nope, can't do that. Let's take it away from them. Sabotage. What are they enjoying? Take it away from them, dude.
I don't think it's competency. Bloodaxe is not competency. It's sabotage. This is intentional. Crappy version of the Face Puncher, crappy version of Globetrotter, crappy class mods. They have to be doing this on purpose. They are not trying to make stuff as cool as it was before. Let me tell you a little secret. Borderlands sucks. No, really. As an actual shooter, it sucks. What you like about Borderlands was the over-the-top powers, abilities, and guns. It's not a great shooting game. It's not that accurate. It's not that responsive. The shootouts aren't that good. but you were so crazy with these wild legendaries and wild combinations that you played it for the power fantasy of basically making your own version of a superhero that tore ass around. It's not nearly as responsive or solid a shooter as Remnant 2 or even Outriders was a better shooter. For mechanics and shootouts and strategy and feeling like a shooter. Borderlands is supposed to be, look what I could do with this dumb build and legendary. They took that out, and now it has to stand on its base gameplay. And it sucks. I'd rather be playing those other games. If I had Outriders on PC instead of my Xbox, I'd probably invite Bloodaxe to go play Outriders. If I could get Xeno to jump back on Remnant 2, I'd rather go do a few rounds of that. It's not that great a shooter. It's not that great a combat game. But it had loot like nobody's business. Nobody had crazier gold equipment ever than Borderlands previously. There were guns that were insane. Dude, your Plague Bearer, absolutely the best rocket launcher I've seen on anything. Wild. The Globetrotter was insanely fun. Buzzsaw blades bouncing everywhere. You got that in it. You're not getting that here. Everything was dumbed down and watered down. I don't know why, but it makes the experience a lot less satisfying. I'm literally only playing Borderlands 4 because I ran out of energy on Where the Winds Meet and I need to let it build back up. So I need to do something to give that game time for my resource to refill.
Well, speaking of energy on Where's Wind Meet, I need to spend some soon. So
yeah, he's cutting you off.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. You can go to Dicejunkies.com where links everywhere we are online. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,